Welcome back. So now that you enjoy working with list views, let's give you a little insight into how they are created. So I can either use a list view that's already there by just clicking on it, or let's say that I want to create a new list view off of this list view. So the first thing I can do is I can hit new, or I can hit clone. So let's say I want to use this list view, but I want to update it a little bit. So if I hit clone, it'll automatically default to say copy of and then the name of your current list view. So we'll leave it as that. If I just click in the next field, the list API name, that'll auto-populate. And then the thing that is worth highlighting is you have a couple of options on visibility. So if this is a list view that's only going to be used by you and not maybe relevant to anyone else on your team, you can leave it as the default of only I can see this list view. However, if this is something that's worth sharing across your team so that everyone can see it, you can select the second one, which is all users can see this list view. And there's some help text if you hover on the icon. And then the third one is sharing it with a specific group of users. So if you have a group of marketing users or operations users, you can select that option and it'll walk you through selecting which group you want to share it with. I'm going to select so that everyone can see this, and I'm going to hit save. And now you'll notice that this has updated as copy of the original list view we started with. On the right side, now you can see the filters. If I want to hide the filters, I can hit the filter button, but I want to show the filters just to verify that I'm seeing everything I want to see. So I want to see all properties, and properties on a map equals true. Now let's say that really what I wanted to do is see more information here, or maybe I don't care about zone, so I want to remove this column. To do that, I go back to the gear icon and I come down to select fields to display. This pops up a window where you will see all of the fields that are available, so all of the available fields on the property record, because that's the tab that we're on, right? So I can scroll through all of the fields available on the property record. And maybe what I'm interested in seeing is the number of floors. So I'll select that one and I'll hit the arrow button to move it over to my visible fields. So in the right-hand column, we have visible fields. So let's review our list of visible fields. We have property name, block number, property type, square footage, and we said that we wanted to remove zone because that's not relevant for this list view. So I'll highlight that field and hit the arrow to move it back to the available field so it's no longer in my list view. And let's say I also want to remove the year renovated. So I'm going to highlight that, move it on over. And let's also say that I actually want to see number of floors as the second column. Then I can highlight that field and use the up arrows to reorder the fields according to how I would like to see them. So now I see number of floors will be second. It'll start with property name, number of floors, block number. Looks good. I'm going to click save. And now my list view is updated. So I have property name, number of floors, block, etc. I can also use this arrow now if I want to sort what are my buildings with the greatest number of floors. Here we go, 8 floors. Similarly, if I go to accounts, I have all of my retail accounts here on my list view. And let's say I want to review what are the filters that I put in place to pull all of those. So it looks like I chose to look at all accounts, not my accounts. A lot of times in District360, your data has been uploaded by someone other than you. So it's important to make sure that you're always setting the filter for all of accounts or contacts or properties. You want the owner to be all accounts. And then we set up these criteria. So the industry, this is what I've told the system. I want the industry to equal. I can choose, different values, but in this case, we're going to say equals because we know our industry is a pick list. Now I can go through my industry list and I can select each one that I consider retail. So I selected dining, dry cleaners, entertainment. You might have different criteria than I have, but at least you can see what criteria were set here. So I'm just verifying that I haven't missed anything that I consider retail. Oh, good. We have restaurant. We also have retail. That list looks good. So when I'm done, I click out of that box. So I see industry equals 8 options were selected and I hit done. So there I have my list. Similarly, if I go to contacts, I can see retail contacts or safety alliance. I can always click my filters. I can always click to select which fields I want to display. I don't care who is the contact owner, so I'll remove that. Maybe I want to move title up right next to their name. And I'm going to hit save. And now I can see my information in a new list view.